Here we are. Welcome back, guys. Hello, and welcome to Tinkle Sports Talk. You can see I gave up the little porno stash from last week.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of it, just not as bad.
But it's even all over now, so it's not like
Just give me this.
it's not like last week. There we go. He flips on his light. We're ready to go. Yeah, but hey, it's even all over. That's what I was gonna say. So at least it's not like only the stash now.
Right.
So, but with that, let's get to the NFL news to open up the show today on episode number 19, by the way. We're almost at number 20. So, but anyway, here we go. The NFL schedule has been released. Of course, so as it stands right now, there is no Monday night doubleheader to open the season. Then if I scroll down to week 17, where they will make up for it, is ESPN will get a doubleheader week 18. I'm sorry, I forgot. It's week 18 this year.
Yeah.
So
it's still a little getting used to.
ESPN and ABC will carry a doubleheader on the final weekend of the year, which is amazing. I love it. Too bad they don't have exactly the best football commentators, but hey, it's okay.
I think it's going to be January 10th. So it's the doubleheader because I know the 9th is technically the last Sunday of football, at least in the regular season, and then January 10th is going to be the last day of the regular season before the playoffs start, which is going to be interesting. Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, as far as the games to look forward to, I've only got one circled on my calendar, and I think you know which one it is. It's neither of our teams.
Oh yeah, it's New England and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, now
and it's the homecoming.
Yeah,
I'm sure the New England Patriots didn't want to see coming at all.
Now, initially I wanted Tampa Bay and New England week 1, but I realized then Tampa's on the road. Tampa's on the road for that week. So, because of that, I think it's a good schedule. I kind of wish they pushed it to later in the year, like maybe Thanksgiving weekend or something, if that was the case. But, you know...
What, to take over the Bills and Saints for that primetime spot on Thanksgiving?
Let's face it, I don't think anybody expects the Saints to be anywhere near as good as they were with Drew Brees. So, it's kind of... No offense, it's kind of a dud game, to be honest.
In retrospect, if you looked at what Taysom Hill did last year when Drew Brees was hurt those games, I think it was like a month long, he was hurt with an ankle injury or something like that. Taysom Hill came in and I want to say they won like three of their last 4 games during that span. But they were winning games still with Taysom Hill. It wouldn't shock me if they split between Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill this year.
Even still, they had Drew Brees on the sidelines helping them. Now Drew Brees is with NBC, and he's more focused on what he's doing over there than what he's doing in New Orleans
on the field
at this point. So at the end of the day, this is just, I'm sorry, I don't have high hopes for the Saints. I know one of our friends is a Saints fan. I'm sorry, bud. They're not doing much this year. And if you think they are, look, I mean, they could prove me wrong, but I'm not expecting them to be near the contenders that they were with Drew Brees, since there's one thing Drew Brees had that Jameis Winston and Taysom Hill don't have, and that's a leadership quality.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, I think the one game that stands out to me the most, and I know I'm a big Bills fan, but is the AFC Championship rematch game on want to say it's Sunday Night Football. Let me check. I have the.
I actually have
Yeah,
it.
it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Week 5, Sunday Night Football game. It's in Kansas City, so we would literally backtrack back to the same place we had to play the AFC Championship game, and so I'm looking forward to that as a Bills fan.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of Bills fans have that marked on their calendar, wanting to go back to Kansas City and this time seeking out a victory. But we'll see what happens. I'm just going to say it now. I don't think the Chiefs are going to be the same team that they were last year. I think that Super Bowl loss is really going to plague them a little bit, but
I think it's humbled
time
them.
will tell.
I think it's humbled them, and I think it's knocked them down quite a few pegs. So I'm sorry. I don't expect them to do too well. Now, what I will say is of the prime time. So the Bills, as of now, tentatively have 4 primetime games with a potential for a 5th.
Yeah.
So that being said, I'm looking through their schedule, and to be honest, why it's
one of the easier ones.
I know, but they're primetime games. Now, again, I think New Orleans is a debatable primetime game. Why isn't the Tampa game a primetime game instead of Tennessee? I mean, Tennessee's good, but
I don't understand it either.
I don't know.
I think they kind of messed up the primetime games for the Bills.
There's already bad blood between, Brady and the Bills. At the end of the day,
it could very well get flexed. I mean, they don't really like to flex a lot of those type of games. They usually wait till towards the end of the season.
That game is going to be so low on the flex totem pole at the end of the day because you can only have 5 primetime games. So,
yeah, that's true.
So, to be honest, it would just be too much manipulation to make it happen. I just wish that they made that game the night game.
I really do think that Dallas didn't really deserve a primetime season opener, or more like NFL opener against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It should have been either the Bills, the Patriots. It would have made a little bit more sense. It was heavily rumored, Buffalo could very well be one of the teams that they faced off against. And then they shock us all and they give them the freaking Dallas Cowboys of all teams. Like, Dallas is coming off of a season where Dak Prescott was hurt basically the whole season.
Yeah.
We don't know how he's going to be. We don't know how Ezekiel Elliott's going to be. His production's been dropping down. Dak's coming back and got a big old contract. So we don't know how he's going to be playing. Is he going to let the money do the talking and be egotistical because of being on a big old contract? I don't know. Jerry Jones seems to be the kind of guy that just hands out big old contracts to guys that probably just don't deserve them right now.
Because he's too stuck in his ways. That's my opinion on that. But
we're not going to go deep into it.
Here's the other highlight. So week 16, there's a Thursday night football game at San Fran and Tennessee. Here's the thing, we can never have high hopes about Thursday night games. You can never have high hopes because that's essentially we got to give everybody a primetime game. So let's just put everybody on the game that no one's going to give a shit about because no one's going to want to stay up on Thursday night to watch these people. It's basically garbage time for the teams that don't deserve primetime games.
It's going to be an interesting matchup. Trey Lance against Ryan Tannehill.
I think it's going to be Jimmy G. To be honest, I don't think Trey Lance is getting it.
I'll be the first one to come here and I'm shocked that Jimmy G didn't get traded.
I am too, but then, of course, I also have to highlight this. Indianapolis, Arizona.
That's going to be a good matchup.
A Christmas Day matchup.
The Colts have to go up against the Eagles this year or no? Now that's
I
the thing I
don't
need to
believe
know.
they do. Let me double
Let me go
check
and
their
check and see.
Yeah, I'll let you check it actually. But then the other Christmas Day, so that Christmas Day game, it's going to be on Fox and NFL Network for Cleveland and Cleveland. I'm sorry, no wait. Indianapolis and Arizona is going to be an NFL Network exclusive. Cleveland and Green Bay is going to be the 4:30 game on Christmas Day. I'm glad they're keeping Christmas Day games. So, as we wait for Jason to...
No, okay.
They
I
don't?
thought we would see a matchup
Yeah, I was about to
between,
say.
Carson Wentz against his former team, but unfortunately that is not
Yeah, no.
happening this year.
We play the Eagles, though. That I'm looking forward to. But,
Yeah, the Buffalo plays football team.
that said, okay, so then I guess now it's a good time as well to move ahead here, and we're going to talk about the new Green Bay Packers quarterback, Blake Bortles. Now, here's the thing. I don't want people to get their hopes up, okay? This is media hype, plain and simple. This is just media stirring up drama. He is not going to be the starter. Okay, so Green Bay fans, take a chill pill, okay?
Just like what Aaron Rodgers says.
Relax.
Relax.
Okay? Let me assure you, even if... Okay, relax unless Aaron Rodgers says he's not coming back. Okay? Relax unless he puts words to action. Plain and simple.
And so far, he's been very quiet about the whole thing. That's what leads me to speculate. It's all rumors. It's all media talk.
I think he's upset. I just don't think he's as upset as it was blown out to be.
Yeah.
And I think it's, I don't deny that it's what he said about, I don't want to be here next year. But I think he did it casually and someone misinterpreted it.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, I don't know Aaron Rodgers, but he's a tough guy to read sometimes.
I guess we'll find out.
But we'll find out
if he actually shows up
Bortles,
or not.
But you know what? Even if this story is true and he says in August, I'm not showing up to training camp and I'm not showing up to preseason games. If he even pulled that, okay, now you have a veteran quarterback. And you laugh and say it's Blake Bortles, but this is the guy who led the Jags to the playoffs, and I believe he won a game with them. He almost led them to the AFC Championship.
Actually, I was about to say, I think he led them. I think he won 2 games.
Oh, he might have led them to the AFC Championship.
I'm pretty sure they were a wild card team. Won a wild card, won the divisional, made it all the way to the AFC Championship game against the Patriots.
Okay, but either way, he led them far.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, and he knows how to do it in the big games.
Yeah, but he's never done it in the NFC. NFC is,
still,
not the same NFC that it's been when...
But still, any experience is good experience. That's all I can say about it.
I don't know. See, for me, Blake Bortles, I think he's very well deserving of maybe getting another opportunity with the Packers. Mm-hmm. Say if Aaron Rodgers is very truthful about not wanting to show up at all, wants to go play elsewhere, wants to, basically make his mark. It would be better for a QB competition with Jordan Love than just saying, "Oh yeah, Blake, all right, we brought you in, for a reason. We're gonna give you the Week 1 starter job." No, I think you should have a competition with Jordan Love, who's already sat behind Aaron Rodgers and knows how he runs the offense. Blake Bortles doesn't know how Aaron Rodgers runs that offense whatsoever.
But
he's coming
Blake Bortles could be a better fit than Jordan Love. Here's the thing, like Jordan Love, to me, even if the story is true, this shows me right here, they may not have total confidence in Jordan Love yet. I really haven't heard much about him. I haven't seen much of him to really say anything. No one's really even seen him in an NFL game because keep in mind, there was no preseason last year. That's normally where we would see a guy like Jordan Love hit the field. Nobody knows what to expect from him. And
See,
maybe
the only way
the
that they know
OTAs
that they
didn't go
can
well.
have anything good out of him is if they see the 3 preseason games this year. Maybe then you can be able to judge Jordan Love. But unfortunately,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. We cannot judge Jordan Love. We don't know the kind of quarterback. We don't know the kind of skills he has
Hmm.
in the NFL game. He's just
I
been
mean,
riding the bench last year. Never even got a chance to come
yeah.
in. I don't
Here's the
think
thing.
at all.
Here's the thing. He could either be the next great Green Bay quarterback, or he could be a Jarrett Stidham, which everybody hyped up in New England, and look at where he is. He's a guy who shouldn't even be on an NFL roster. He's that bad. He can't even get
Yeah.
out of his own way.
Hence why they drafted another quarterback because he was oh so good for them.
Yeah, but so at the end of the day, I'm not putting too much hype on this. But there's another story that came out too this week in the NFL that is garnering a lot of attention. Some good, some let's put it this way: the Kaepernick lovers sure are not happy people right now. Um,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna dive into this. Look, okay,
No.
let me put it this way to the Kaepernick lovers out there. Okay, he's not in the league because of how he's played and marketing reasons too. I don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but you want to know what? His last year was horrendous. Why are we making him out? Okay, he had a chance to play for the Denver Broncos, according to the rumors, and I believe these rumors, and he asked for $20 million a year. You had a shitty last year in San Fran. You have no right to even ask for money. Quit crying poor. Quit crying that you don't have a job in the NFL because you're being blacklisted or whatever, when you played like shit and you're asking for a shit ton of money. Okay? That'd be like me. That'd be like Nate Peterman throwing 10 interceptions in a game and saying, man, where's my $30 million bonus? I'm a $30 million quarterback. Okay? At the end of the day, he's lucky if he should have made 4 or 5 million
Or you could
being
be
a
like Dak
backup.
Prescott getting hurt and be like, I'm worth 40 million, right? I mean,
Okay?
yeah, I get hurt,
Dude,
but I'm worth it.
I do admit he deserves to be a backup in the NFL, maybe a third string. I thought last year it might happen with the COVID protocols, but to those people, he's been out of the league 4 years. Just put the Kaepernick shit to bed already, okay?
Yeah, I know. I
Seriously, to the media, to the fans, to the Twitter people, just put it to fucking bed already, okay? Enough's enough, okay? It is what it is at this point. Like I said, I for one would love to see him be a backup in the NFL because I think he could be a good mentor, but
Right.
it's not going to happen. Okay, so let's put it to bed. But there is a guy who is coming back, and his name is Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow.
Mr. Biceps is coming back. The man who's too ripped to
And
play
this time-
quarterback.
And this time he's going to be not a starter, but a backup tight end. So we
But,
don't even know if he's going to
look,
make the team.
He's going to be a tight end. But here's the thing. Before Urban Meyer played in the NFL, or coached in the NFL, he was asked to play tight end. He was asked to play wide receiver. And he said, no, I'm a quarterback. Okay, Urban Meyer comes in and says, play tight end. And he does it. Okay?
I think it's because it's his former coach.
It's Urban Meyer. That's why. But this is why, okay? He was willing to change his position to play in the NFL again. Okay? Something he wasn't willing to do, which is why he got kicked out of the NFL to begin with.
Well, plus, I think a lot of teams were experimenting with having him as a wide receiver. I think the last team that was trying to was the Jets. Or
Yeah,
the Patriots.
but he refused. He said to them straight up, I won't play wide receiver. I want to play quarterback.
Now, the question I have is,
I think
it
he
wouldn't
got
shock
older
me
wiser.
if you see him in some wild card or wildcat formations with the Jaguars.
I could see it. And he'll be an
I could see it
emergency
all the
quarterback.
time. Why else would you want to bring in Tim Tebow if you don't have some crazy wildcat formations that you can
this
throw
is
in with
Urban
him?
freaking Meyer, okay? Let's put it that way. It's Urban freaking Meyer. So I would not put it past him.
Yes, Tim
Um,
Tebow's not the best passer, but he could still throw the ball.
yeah,
So
exactly. I'm interested
again,
to see what happens.
again
Um,
he's gonna have to make a team. He's gonna have to show the
I don't.
Jacksonville Jaguars that, hey, I'm here to make the roster
He
and
needs
I'll
to
show
put a
you
lot
everything
of
I
work
can.
in. He
Oh
needs to
yeah, of
put in a
course.
lot of work. At this point in time, I
It
don't
all
think he's
starts
making
in
the
the weight
roster,
room.
but I could see him making the practice squad,
Mm,
maybe, but I just can't see him making the roster unless Urban Meyer has something really tricky up his sleeves.
I'm actually shocked that they didn't bring him in as like a backup quarterback or something like
Hmm.
that. Someone that can mentor Trevor Lawrence in a way. I mean,
Yeah, but
but
they do have
I know
Gardner
he's
Minshew. He's okay. He's Minshew He's Minshew mania. Okay, he's gonna come in there with this mustache and be, like he's like NFL's Chuck Norris. Okay, he's got a mustache. He comes in there and he doesn't get coronavirus. He puts coronavirus in quarantine itself. Okay,
yeah, true.
but yeah, sorry, had to make that joke.
That's
But
great.
anyway, let's move on to the NBA. We got a new all-time Mr. Triple Double.
Oh yeah. I honestly think I saw it happening eventually. That man was
Come
like
on.
averaging at one point in this, like a couple of years back when he was with the Thunder, he was averaging a triple double like almost every single
Can I?
game. I think he
Who
had
didn't
like
see this coming? Who
I think he had
didn't?
like I think that season he had like 40 something triple doubles in almost like 10 or 15 games in a row of triple doubles. So to see him beat out Oscar Robertson, of course, we're still young. We never saw Oscar Robertson
Hmm.
play. He was back in like the 60s, I want to say. I'm not going to delve too deep of what happened in the 60s with NBA back in the day. That's too much for us to handle on this show. Maybe
Hmm.
listen to another show that'll talk about more of that era. But we'll talk about the era of the NBA today.
Hmm.
To do that in today's day and age where everybody wants to shoot the ball, wants to be an all-star, to come in and also get
And also a league.
rebounds, do assists.
And also a league now where no one wants to go into the paint. They
No, I
just want to
know.
jack up threes and hope for the best.
hmm So I give Russell Westbrook a lot of credit, especially to do it with a team that probably gonna miss playoffs this year. Um, they're currently part of the play-in tournament. Um, currently just lost to the Atlanta Hawks, so they have a lot riding on them to make it in, unfortunately. But congratulations, Russell Westbrook. Um,
If anyone deserves it, it's him. Even though he's a
oh
little bit
yeah,
of a
for sure.
brat, but
Yeah, he
yeah,
can be. He can be a little cocky,
yeah.
arrogant, but
He's one of the
it's all
main
for good
reasons I
fun.
don't like the NBA, but I can respect what he did at the end of the day. That's not an easy accomplishment. Um,
Right.
and he's gonna have way more. I think he's gonna make this record, and obviously nothing is unreachable, but he's gonna
I
make it
think he's
very
definitely gonna make
tough.
it. I think he's gonna make it very unreachable, honestly. Not a lot of
I
players like to.
I don't think there's any way to put it as unreachable. Let's
Yeah,
be
but
honest here.
a lot of players don't want to like pad the stats like that. They rather care
Um,
more about points than they
no,
do about
like,
padding the stats.
but here's the thing. Everyone thought back in the day Dan Marino's passing touchdowns, passing yards records were never going to get beat. And look at what we got today.
Yeah, but
Okay.
today the league is a lot more pass heavy than it was back in
True,
the day,
but
and we
nobody
discussed this.
true, but nobody expected it, to be honest. To
True.
be honest, like at the end of the day, we could say, oh well, no one's gonna beat the rushing record. Maybe in 5, 10 years the league becomes a rush heavy offense.
Yeah, I
You
guess that
know,
is very true. You
times
never know what
times change. Okay. Times change, people change, systems change,
I mean,
you know.
I really do think that eventually Eric Dickerson's rushing record will get
I
passed.
thought AP was gonna break it, to be honest, but Yeah, that's what I mean though. Like today's day and age,
And I think
look,
it's going to beat Derrick Henry, to be honest.
I'm telling you, like LeBron may very well go to the top scorer all time. I'm willing to make that call right here that he could very well do it. Okay, he's 30, what, 34, 35, 36 right now.
I think so. I
He's
think
got
he's like
he's got
35.
let me put it this way. He's going to be in the league until he can't walk anymore because
Right.
no team is going to let him walk. Okay? I'm telling you. He could probably play the next 5 to 6 years for all we know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, obviously it's going to depend on this ankle injury and how he comes back from it, but no team is going to let someone with a name like LeBron James sit in free agency.
No, not at all.
So,
And speaking of the Lakers, everybody, right now, their chances, their chances. Now, I'm shocked about this. I really am shocked. I know, they had a lot of injuries. They had AD that was out like 40 something games. They had LeBron that was out like basically a month. Um, I want to say they are like
I wonder if the Players
one.
Association is going to step in here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think they're gonna be like, you know what? No, 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 no. This whole play-in tournament, this
It's
is the
got to
biggest
go.
load of bull crap ever because you shouldn't have a defending
Hmm.
champions having to play in for a chance to get into the playoffs.
Oh
But then
no, no, I
again,
don't mean like that. I mean like the insanely short off season. I think they're
oh
going to step in and say never again with this. Um
yeah, but that was also because of COVID and all that other
yeah,
stuff.
but I think
Um,
cuz look, we got another story later about another league that is really another league's player association that is really upset with how last season's COVID year went. This is going to be a huge. I think CBA is going to be in trouble in a lot of these major leagues right now.
yeah, I think so too.
So, and I think the NBA's isn't safe either. The rate things are
Right.
going.
Um, I really do think that I really do think that the Lakers are gonna be in. Um, now
They'll be in.
it'll be interesting to see them potentially get in, like purposely lose that first playing game and then win the second one because if they lose the first one, they'll fight for the eighth seed instead of the seventh seed. Which, by the way, everybody, I got it wrong about the whole playing thing, but I don't want to go too deep into
Hmm.
that. So if they lose that first game, they can play another playing game where it's for the eighth seed, and they would play the winner of whoever wins the ninth and tenth seed game. Now, it would not shock me if they get into the eighth seed and knock out the number one seed Jazz. That would not shock me
I'm
whatsoever.
calling bluff on the 2-1 seeds in the league right now. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
I'm calling full out bluff, okay? I think Mitchell's a great player for the Jazz. I think they're a good team, but every year they lead on. They're like the insane girlfriend that just
hmm
leads you on and whatnot. And
or
I think the Sixers normally are a tease, but they do have Doc Rivers now, and I got to give credit to Doc Rivers any chance I get. He is one of the best in the league. It may
Mhm.
happen eventually. I just think this year, though, that's why I'm calling bluff, because they're still the same Sixers.
And the funny thing is, what's with Doc Rivers having better success in the East than he does in the West? I mean, he was the coach of the Clippers and like
Um,
literally couldn't do anything with them.
my answer, what
He goes
is,
to the
what is,
Philadelphia
oh,
76ers.
I'm going to play Jeopardy here. What is you play in the damn East?
I know, but like,
Come on. I could coach in the East and still probably make the 8th seed. And I
oh
don't
yeah,
even know much
probably.
about NBA, okay? That's how bad it is, okay? But
Because he went to the Clippers and just like absolutely just couldn't take them anywhere. Goes to the East and like now he has the 76ers as a 2 seed or actually as the 1 seed. I think they're just tied with the Nets right now.
mhm,
But I don't
yeah,
know.
I don't
I
know.
think
Nets are
this will be the
going.
last. I really do think that if the Lakers miss playoffs, the play-in tournament is going to be gone. It's going to be a 1-year experiment. I that's all
I
gotta
think it's
say.
going to be a 1-year experiment regardless. I think no matter who comes out of it, and if the NBA PA is going to get so pissed and they're going to threaten legal action, I think is what's going to happen. Of course, again, we have another story involving this. We'll talk about it in the next part of the show. But before we get on to that, we do have one more NBA story, and it's about Alex Rodriguez. Not often you get to say NBA and Alex Rodriguez in the same sentence, so let's hear it.
I can't believe. Actually, you know what? You should probably lead this
Oh,
more.
yeah,
because
you know what? I'm more of the sport management guy, so I will lead it. So, tech entrepreneur Mark Lohr and Alex Rodriguez, the baseball star, they had a 30-day exclusive negotiating window to purchase the Minnesota Timberwolves from Glenn Taylor, and it did not lead to a formal deal. Glenn Taylor will maintain full control of the team for 2 more years. There's a chance that there could be a new window to try to buy it out. It's just, this is the type of Timberwolves that you expect, okay? On the court, they're a mess. Off the court, more of a mess. Okay? Chances are, if it looks like shit, it smells like shit.
It is shit.
It's shit. Okay?
This kind of reminds me of the whole Sacramento Kings fiasco, to be honest, because I remember Sacramento was like in that same predicament of trying to get an ownership team. Are they going to move out of Sacramento to go to Seattle? You probably remember hearing all about that, right?
I think I remember, yeah.
Guess what? It didn't happen. They stayed in Sacramento, got a new stadium, and I think they got newer jerseys with this. And yes, they're not currently a playoff team, but doesn't mean that their luck can't eventually turn around in their favor. Sacramento is literally the laughing stock of California when it comes to Western basketball.
Yeah, they kind of are.
They make the Lakers, the Clippers, and the Warriors all look like super teams because they're that bad.
Yeah, so
but as far as the Minnesota Timberwolves, they're probably going to have to look for newer ownership.
I think they're going to get a new negotiation window.
It might have to be away from Alex Rodriguez, because you can't literally have that kind of window and just not come up to a formal deal. Like that kind of means like either you just didn't have a plan to begin with, or you're just like heading into the wrong situation. And I think they're heading into the wrong situation, and they didn't have a plan to begin with. So,
see, I think they'll get this negotiated. Maybe, I don't see it anytime soon, though. I think, I just wonder what happened behind the scenes, honestly, because something must have just happened behind the scenes. Maybe they couldn't reach a deal, and maybe it must be the numbers.
Maybe it had to be too much asking money that Rodriguez and his partner there just didn't have enough.
Yeah, that they're just like, we're not going to make it by the deadline. Let's sit back. Let's talk about it a little bit more. Let's figure out what we can do here. I think that was the case. Now, Seattle is looking for a franchise. Now, here's the thing, though. Minnesota has target center until 2035, so they can't leave.
Yeah.
So the Seattle thing is out of the question.
Well, they could very well renovate
the
target center.
They could break their lease, which is going to lead to lawsuits. And if there's one guy who could bring them out of Minnesota and into Seattle and would be more than willing to pay the money to break the lease, look no further than the smile and the Mr. 2-day shipping guy. Okay? Look no further than that.
Oh, goodness. Oh, I see. Bezos, right?
Mr. Jeff Bezos, okay?
Oh, Bezos.
If there's anyone who could bring him out of Seattle, he's the guy. I'm not saying he's going to buy the team. But I'm saying, there's a possibility. I know he's been linked to a few sports teams. Again, Bezos, please, if you're watching this, I'll sell my soul to Amazon Prime if you buy out the charge. No, I won't. No, I won't, okay? But please, make the Spanos sell, okay? Make them sell. But anyway, with that, oh man.
I guess we could take our
now that I'm gonna have to go to confession for basically attempting to sell my soul. We're gonna take an anchor and canteen break here, or anchor break rather. When we come back, we're gonna have some more MLB news. Another no-hitter. Boy, it seems like we talk about this every week.
Yeah, it does.
We got another team wanting to relocate. Then, of course, we got NHL end-of-season news coming up. So please stay tuned. We'll be back in about a minute here on Tinkle. Well, I don't think it'd be a normal Sunday unless we go off script here. So while we were on break, I'm looking at my phone, and we had just talked about the Timberwolves. It must be like they just heard that we were talking about it, So it's Thursday afternoon. We're taping. Right after we go to the break, I look at my phone. Breaking news: A-Rod has purchased the Minnesota Timberwolves. So,
well, good for them. Now they don't have to worry about not going with new ownership.
Yeah.
Guess we'll have to see what's gonna happen from there. If they're gonna make any changes to Timberwolves, if they're going to just clean house and start fresh, we don't know. It'll be very interesting to see what happens.
Psst. Mr. Bezos, you didn't get the Timberwolves. Come get the Chargers.
Psst. Hey, man. Just wait.
Psst. Mr. Elon Musk. No, just kidding. No, okay. All right, but yeah.
And what, call it Tesla Field instead of SoFi Stadium?
SoFi's got too long of a deal and too much of a deal to change that name. So that's out of the question. But hey, congratulations to the Timberwolves. Hopefully your owner isn't as shitty this time around as the last one was for you guys. So good luck. And good luck to A-Rod in this new venture. Speaking of A-Rod, though, we do have some baseball news. No, we don't have A-Rod news, but
Not
hey,
anymore after that.
another week goes by. I guarantee you when we're done taping this, we're going to have a no-hitter news again. Okay? I'm willing to make that bet right here. Okay? We'll hang up our Discord. He's going to go to work. And then I'm going to sit here and hear another story about someone throwing a no-hitter. Okay? Guaranteed. It's going to happen. Mark my words. But
Yeah.
Wade Miley has thrown a no-hitter for the Reds, and this one counts. It was 9 innings, so it counts just for those who didn't know. If you remember a few weeks ago, Unhappy Madison there threw a no-hitter, and it didn't count.
The 7 innings that didn't count because of the doubleheader.
With an asterisk next to it. So, needless to say, I guess I gotta ask, is this a pitcher's year at this point? Because it's just...
It has to be.
I mean, the hitters are struggling. I heard the batting averages are lower than they've been in recent years. It's very clear the pitchers came to pitch this year, and that's always a great sign.
And it's really going to be important to have good pitchers heading into, championship games.
Yeah.
Yes, I know they say defense wins championships, but sometimes
in baseball pitching
no-hitters, sometimes baseball with pitching is kind of like having defense winning your championship because
defense for sure wins championships, but you want to know what helps you win even more? Good pitching.
Oh yeah,
okay.
For sure. Especially in baseball.
Defense doesn't matter if you don't have good pitching. Okay, defense goes out the window at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because you can't have a defense unless there's a pitcher, obviously.
Yeah.
So
In a way, that basically is your source of defense, is your pitcher.
Yeah.
If you think about it, yes,
But
your offense too, because he's the one that's throwing the pitch.
yeah,
But
no
he's
lie.
also basically your defender because he's got to make sure that the batter doesn't hit the ball.
Yeah, and no lie, Wade Miley throwing it's great. But I'm telling you, this is good for baseball. Again, a no-hitter. I don't care how many have been thrown this year. I don't care how many we're going to see thrown the rest of the year. And you know we're going to see at least a few more this year. There's still 150-something games to go. We're going to see more. This is good for baseball, okay? Eventually we might see the cycle in a game where a player hits a single, a double, a triple, and a home run all in the same game. We may see that too. That kind of stuff is good for the game. It's what fans love to see. I don't care if you're a traditional fan who's been watching his whole entire life. I don't care if you're a fan that's a casual one, maybe like myself, who just sits and watches a few games if they're on TV and nothing else is on. It's good for baseball to see this because there's nothing like it in any other sport. I mean, there's the perfect passer rating, but come on. That's not at the same magnitude.
Definitely not the same magnitude as like a no-hitter because, when you have these really, really great baseball hitters, it is tough to have a no-hitter in today's game with so many great baseball hitters. Yes, like you said, the hitting average has been really, really low. And I wonder if coming off a year of, the pandemic had anything to do with it.
Yeah.
It very well could have, but who knows?
Yeah, speaking of the pandemic as well, actually we'll get to that story in a second. I'm sorry, I skipped over one. So the Oakland A's have announced today the stadium talks have broken down, and now they are facing or exploring a relocation.
And I think they got favor. Like I think MLB is all in favor of it too, or they got permission from them.
I'm sorry. Normally, I hate teams that do this, but have you seen Oakland Coliseum?
Yeah.
Have you seen photos of how bad it is in there?
And that's why the Raiders love.
Okay, that place is a literal dump. Plain and simple. Okay, that place has needed renovations for years, and now I think it's to the point where it's just not renovatable. I hope that's a word. If not, we just created one. But it is to the point where a renovation isn't enough. It's got to be bulldozed at this point.
Yeah, that whole stadium needs to just be taken
Oakland.
out of existence.
Oakland, come on, man. Put a stadium there.
No,
but
are they going to move just like the Raiders? Do you think that they'll go to Las Vegas?
I think Vegas is becoming a very hot sports market, especially with sports gambling being legal now.
Yeah.
I know you had tossed the idea of Buffalo, and I think Buffalo is in a trial basis for a major league team. However,
it would ruin the Bisons.
Yeah, it's going to displace AAA, the Bisons.
Yeah.
And I would love nothing more than to see a Buffalo MLB franchise, because you want a full-time Buffalo MLB franchise. Because, to be honest, we don't have a New York franchise. Now, hear me out here. New York City is not New York.
We don't.
Okay? New York City is not New York. I'm sorry. Okay? You're borderline New Jersey, okay? We have the common ground of Madison Square Garden. That's about it, okay?
Literally, the Bills are like the only professional team that's actually part of New York right now, and that's sad. We used to have the Buffalo Bisons, which was a basketball team back then. That was maybe the second professional sports. We
had the Rochester Royals.
I think they're the Clippers now.
No, that was the Rochester Royals, and then they became the Sacramento Kings, too.
Yeah, and then we also had the Syracuse Nationals, too.
Yeah.
Back in the day. So we We got some professional teams. Of course, we don't really
But
anymore, except for the Sabres and the Bills.
do you even count the Sabres as professional? Do you count anything they do as professional at this point?
No, they play more like a freaking like a single A
They could
affiliate
they
of
could get beat
baseball.
by. I'm pretty convinced they could get beat by a Pee Wee hockey team at this point.
Oh yeah, probably.
I'm
They
sorry.
could probably get beat by RIT.
RIT would beat them like 30-0. But hey,
Oh yeah, probably.
that's aside the point. But Buffalo I don't see as a realistic destination for them, just because it would force a realignment of the divisions in baseball. It would probably force a realignment of the conferences. I think Las Vegas is the most likely destination at the end of the day. I just can't see any other big Western, like I said, that's just becoming a big sports market over there in Las Vegas just because the gambling and
Yeah, they already have the Raiders.
whatnot.
They already
Yeah,
have the Golden Knights.
exactly.
It wouldn't shock me if a baseball and a basketball team ends up in Las Vegas. I mean,
I
it's
see
a
it.
big enough.
I think though Seattle's going to be the first to get the expansion franchise if that happens.
And they've been crying bloody murder. They've
They-
been wanting
but
a
they have a
franchise ever
right
since
to,
They've moved
okay?
out of Seattle.
They
And
have
I
a
get it,
right
they
to
have
cry
do.
about it, okay? That
They
was
literally
wrong
got
to
their
do.
Team stripped from
Okay.
them and sent to Oklahoma City.
It's same thing with St. Louis in football, okay? Removing football from the St. Louis Rams at the time,
Yeah.
that was terrible, okay? They had a perfectly good stadium down there. But anyway, let's move. Well, actually, again, they had a perfectly good stadium. San Diego did not have a good stadium. They had a right to move at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because the city wasn't going to give it to them. And I'm sorry, Oakland has a right to move here because, let's face it, if you've ever been to the Oakland Coliseum, I hope you can verify exactly what I'm telling you because I'm right. Okay, that place is a dump. It should have been bulldozed 5 years ago. But anyway, let's move on here. The MLB Players Association has filed a lawsuit for the 60-game season last year, claiming that there were damages done. I assume with player signings and free agents and whatnot. Also, the players made only a portion of what they'd make, depending on how many games were played in 2020. Owners asked players to take less money per game. I'm sorry. This may be one they lose, honestly. But,
It's always tough to have a season like that, especially when you're used to playing over 100 and something games for the
you
year.
lost
So basically
102.
split it, like, not even in half. Like you almost cut it like in thirds.
Yeah, you
And
lost.
like took out you took like out most of the season.
How?
And then I think they had that big old tournament, didn't they?
But here's the thing. After 60 games, you could have the right impression on a team, and then 30 games from now, it could be a totally different situation. So I totally get where MLBPA is coming from, but I'm sorry. I do agree though that the players should have taken the pay cut to play. Okay, they make too much money as it is. Okay, baseball players make the most money out of any sport in any professional sport at this time. Okay?
Yeah, but it's also a lot. It's very drawn out because it's like 10, 15, 12-year contracts. So if you actually think about it, per game, they're making about the same as any other sport.
True, but they also don't have a salary cap. So at the end of the day, teams in big markets, if you play in a big market and you sign a contract there, you're making twice, You're multiplying those contracts by a lot. And add the fact that a lot of these big markets didn't have fans in the stands last year.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so you were already operating in the hole. Basically, I'm sorry, 60 games you should have taken a pay cut. I admit, though, that the damages are bad because some players didn't get signed because of last year, their performance. And that's not right whatsoever because you can't judge on 60 games compared to 162.
Right.
So I totally see where MLBPA is coming from that standpoint, but at the end of the day, the players should have taken the pay cut. That's the takeaway.
I think they should just be grateful that a season even happened in the first place because they very well could have just said, okay, we're just going to take a year off and then we're going to play a full season.
It would have costed them too.
So they should just be grateful that there was even a season. Like they were literally getting so close to the start of it that I thought, oh, maybe MLB is not going to have a season. And then they come out and like, yep, we're going to have 60 games. And
but you can't cancel the season. Okay, 2020, we looked forward to Bobby Bonilla Day. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. I'm sorry, Mets fans. You deserve that one. But, yeah. No, you're right, honestly. And I'm telling you, I see this coming for the NBA, too. Okay? Like we were talking about earlier, I see it coming for the NBA next. For the extremely short off-season that led to more injuries, that led to a play-in tournament.
Yeah.
Okay, I see it coming. It's not going to be the exact same thing, but it's going to be a big lawsuit from NBAPA. I could see it.
Yeah, but the only difference is I didn't really hear anybody complaining too much about the bubble because a lot of the players were being safe.
But it's not about the bubble at this point. It's about the fact that they just lost a full season. They lost a full off season. They didn't really get a break. They got like 2 months and then they were back to work.
Yeah, but unfortunately you had to have it like that so then you could finish the season at least on time. So then the next season you can go back to the 82 games and then you can either have full capacity or how many you want per state when it comes to the 2021-2022 season.
Again, I don't think it'll be the magnitude of this one, but I think it's going to be a big one. That's what she said. I'm sorry.
No, I really do think that they're going to probably go back to 82 and damn it, Brian.
I'm not cutting that, okay? Look, I led myself to that one. But anyway, let's keep this rolling. So, NHL regular season has ended. The Sabres had media availability day the other day. And the words from Jack Eichel in no particular quote basically said he's frustrated with the franchise. Very well interpreted. He's upset with the franchise. At this point, I think it's time for Buffalo to let him go.
Yeah.
He's clearly not happy there. You've wasted his career. You've wasted his time at the end of the day because you're not willing to build a team around him. I think the trade's imminent. You brought in shitty coaches, and you know what? You can't even blame the coaches anymore. You can't blame there comes a point where if you're firing coaches every 3 years and you're firing GMs every 3 years, there comes a point where you just have to sit down and evaluate yourself and say, is this really the coaches, or is this me hiring the bad people? Okay.
Oh, it's definitely got to be me hiring bad people.
I'm going to point out the Cleveland Browns. I know it's still too soon to do it, but Jimmy Haslam for years has been firing GMs. He's been firing coaches. And I think he eventually sat there and realized and said, man, am I making the wrong decisions here?
Mm-hmm.
Should I be doing more research? Should I be, knowing what better to look for, I think he had a coming to realization moment here.
Yeah, especially when he got Kevin Stefanski
Okay,
and
and
made playoffs.
and we all shit on him for it. Okay, we all shit on Kevin Stefanski. We can't even deny it.
Oh yeah,
But
I didn't even think that he was going to do what he did. And hey, you know what? I'll take where credit is due and say, Cleveland, you did the right thing this time. But it doesn't mean it's going to be like that for every season that you guys play.
You want to know? You want to know where you're going to hit the Sabres and get them to finally realize it. Okay, we all know how you're going to hit them and make them realize it. Ticket sales. Okay, season ticket sales, single game ticket sales, group ticket sales. Okay, anything involving tickets and people in the stands, that's where you're going to hit them. Okay?
I'm sorry, but if the Sabres do lose Jack Eichel, you're going to see season tickets and ticket sales and everything drop down majorly.
But the problem is, yeah, exactly. But the problem is as well that the Pagulas have Buffalo right where they want them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. They have them right where they want them because they know how loyal this fan base is. Regardless of how bad your teams suck, they're always going to stand by. Okay? If Buffalo Sabres fans really wanted to get them to get the message, they would not renew their season tickets. They would not buy tickets. And guess what? That's money, that's income you're losing at the end of the day. I'm not asking Sabres fans to do it, but I'm saying that also the fact that we allowed fans into the stands and none of the season ticket holders wanted to renew their tickets for those games says a lot. That speaks volumes. That says you're doing a shitty job. Figure your shit out. Okay. In other news, though, John Tortorella was let go by Columbus. John Tortorella is a very controversial coach. He tells it like it is. He's one of the better coaches in the league, though. And I'll tell you, though, I hope Buffalo recruits him. If you wanna get this franchise re-engaged, he's your guy.
He could certainly be the guy that replaces Eichel if they lose him.
No, he's going to be the guy to replace Don Granato, or whatever his name is, that's coaching the Sabres right now.
Oh, I see. He's the head coach. I think he's the player. See how much I know about him.
Yeah, so I think you've got to go for him at this point. He tells it like it is. He's kind of an asshole, but pick him up. Okay, they need someone like him running the team.
Yeah, they need somebody that's gonna just not let shit slide.
They need someone different. That's the bottom line. Maybe he's that guy. But then I read this as well. The Stanley Cup Playoffs. So the first two rounds are going to be interdivisional. So of course this season there's divisions of 4 or 5 teams in each division. They all played each other throughout the year. They never played out of division games. So it's staying the course, basically, through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. Then the semifinals will be out of division games. So for the first time, teams that haven't played each other this year, basically you've been playing the same 5 teams all year. So for the first time, you won't be playing the same 5 teams as you go for the Stanley Cup. This sounds, you know what, Jason, this sounds just like college football at the end of the day. I'm sorry, I just don't agree with this. I think
sounds like they're just trying way too much to make sense of things.
I know we got a lot of Canada teams, but this format is just, I don't know if you can really gauge a true winner by this format.
No,
Maybe you
because you're probably
can.
going to see a lot of teams that probably shouldn't be there to win it all. Probably there to win it all,
Yeah,
but we'll see what happens.
we'll see. It is the last year of NBC hosting it, of course, so that's something fans are really looking forward to.
Hmm.
I know Zach is. We of course had to bleep out one of his responses to that, but anyway,
Yeah, we did.
with that, I think it's time for a little pick me up. As you could tell, we're both kind of tired, so we need a little pick me up. Let's do a little tinkle on this week. So last night, Bryce Harper, Odubel Herrera were going for a fly ball in between right and center field. Bryce Harper couldn't get a good read on where the ball was, and he ran into the center fielder, Odubel Herrera. And they both missed the fly out. It led to a triple. Everyone who was on base before the hit scored. Bryce Harper. Okay, let me just say this. Bryce Harper, my friend, you are in the middle of a 13-year, $330 million deal. You don't have a damn gold glove to show for it. Odubel Herrera, you're a 2017 Gold Glove finalist. What the hell are you thinking? Okay,
Where's anywhere close by the baseball?
Where's the communication here? Okay, you've got
You
someone who
like, hey man, I got it. No, you don't got it.
You've got someone who almost won a Gold Glove, and you've got someone on a $300 million deal. Okay, and for that, I say tinkle on this. Philadelphia Phillies. Okay?
Dude.
Man, Philly fans, I don't know how you sleep at night with that baseball team. I don't know how you slept last night or the other night. I just don't know. I feel for you, though. I really do. I liked the Phillies at one point. I liked when they had Roy Halladay and Howard there at first base. And so... But I don't know how you slept that night, to be honest. Philly fans, don't hurt me. I just call it like it is.
No, because even when they were going after the baseball, they were just like, no one, like it literally just landed, and they were like, maybe
they were dumbfounded.
Maybe they were about like an inch away from like where the actual ball landed, like before they made contact with each other, like. I'm sorry, you just need to know where the hell you need to know what the hell you're doing.
Experience and all-stars in the outfield, and you two can't figure it out. That's terrible communication.
How can you be great teammates if you have no communication with each other? And that's why we say
tinkle on this. Sorry, it deserves to tinkle on this, Chance Adam. Okay, so that's all we got for this week. We'll be back next week. It will be episode number 20. Here.
Yep, we are now into
the big 20s. We're out of the teens. We almost have enough episodes to be legal to drink. Okay.
Not yet.
Almost. We're gonna count down. We got another 2 weeks for that. But we'll be back next week, hopefully with some more news. Be sure to check out the Canteen Podcast. I believe they took a week off this week. But they should be back on Wednesday. And then, of course, check out of Turn 4 on Tuesday. We will be recapping the Indianapolis Grand Prix. And we will also be recapping NASCAR at Dover. And then, of course, we got a big story as well. A track president stepped down. One I've been very critical of, so you will want to hear this on Tuesday at 5, Canteen Wednesday at 3, and I believe Face-Off Hockey will be starting soon here on Tinkle Sports. So I don't know when yet, but check out our Discord for the latest information on everything involving Tinkle Sports. So until then, guys, we will see you next Sunday.